this is a little discussion about finishing, and LMI was very gracious in presenting me with these products, and they didn't give them to me telling me to give them a good remark. They told me to use them and give an honest opinion. Well, I'm going to give you what I think about these products. This is a water-based cellulose wood filler. For those of you that like to do the Martin kind of a thing, this is very good. Unlike a lot of watered products, this does not make a big gloppy mess. It actually works reasonably well, and it comes, and I left this dry out a little bit, but it's actually looks like a chocolate mousse pudding. You want to throw some Cool Whip on there and just eat it up, but I suggest you don't want to do that for real. It does tell you to leave it sit for about 24 hours. I've actually used this in about 4 or 5 hours. The process that I use when I read the instructions was A, prep your sides. So I prepped my wood and I just sanded it to about 180 grit. If I was going to stain it, I stained it. Then I used a shellac as a seal coat. The filler, I put it on and then I just, I ought to have this here. Anyway, I put it on, and for those of you that use pore pack or anything like that, same thing. Then I kind of smeared it off with this. Credit card would work, a squeegee. Left it sit overnight, lightly sanded it with 220 grit, put another coat of shellac on, and the way that I bother doing the shellac, instead of getting a paintbrush and having to clean it, I just take a paper towel and I folded it up like this, dip it in there, paint it, throw it in trash. Now, this is, for just the little sake of discussion, this was a piece of East Indian rosewood sanded to 180 grit. Same thing. Now this product, I used Aqua Coat. The Aqua Coat is, for lack of a better term, kind of reminds you a little bit like petroleum jelly. The odor is kind of like latex paint. It's not a strong odor. It's not, doesn't stink the shop up. And this stuff dries in 45 minutes. So in 45 minutes, you're ready to go. So before you got here, I ran shellac on a piece of wood. I applied 2 coats of this, and I just used the vinyl glove, rubbed it on, wiped it off with the squeegee. I left it sit for about 45 minutes. Second application, wiped it off with the squeegee, same thing. And then I took the shellac, laid the shellac on there, and I left the shellac dry for 15 minutes. And then this is only with maybe 3-4 coats of spray can lacquer. I'm not talking about the good stuff in the can. I'm talking about just spray can. Now, let's get this a little bit closer. Is that your close-up camera? So you can see, with nothing, you can see how open the pores are. You get a good shot there? And you probably want to take a still.
Yeah.
Again, this is just a couple of coats of right out of the can. Now generally when I do finish work, I like to do, at least 7-8 coats 1 hour apart. I actually have a couple guitars that I use this on, and I'm very, very pleasantly surprised at the outcome with it. The finish built up very quickly. There was very little shrink back, and it polished so well. I think if you look on my Kit Guitar forum under Minwax Experiment, I show you the whole process in there. Also, talking about finish, I did a wipe-on poly finish using Minwax wipe-on poly. Worked very well, just followed the instructions in the can. I was actually surprised at how well it built. I also used True Oil. Again, a very fine product. For your first time builders, True Oil is probably about as easy a finish as you can possibly use. It's used for gun oil, or for gun stocks. Works pretty nicely, doesn't overbuild, doesn't get gummy, and you can apply it. Read the instructions. It's always good to read the instructions first, not after you screwed it up. And it does give a nice result. French polish is another thing that you can learn, and that's its own topic, and you can find a lot of discussions on YouTube about that, I am sure. So I hope, my recommendation is Aqua Coat is absolutely, that and shellac makes a very easy filling. Because your finish is only ever going to be as good as your prep. So if you don't prep well, you aren't going to finish well. I want to thank LMI. I give this 2 thumbs up. It is a very good product. This I also will give 2 thumbs up. It gives you a different look than this does. This gives you more of the Martin appearance. And this actually is a very simple product to use. And it's not hard. Learning curve is very quick. So, I hope that that helps you understand when you get your basic prep work done on the finish, you're going to have a much better result at the end. Again, my shop to yours. Thanks.